Russell?
Yeah.
Nader Wright, independent.
We've seen how well the free market works lately. Anywho, besides that, I think I just want to point out, take this moment to step back and point out, you can see, we should probably be more contentious up here, but when we're talking at the local level, it really is amazing how much all these different ideologies really agree on some very basic things, and I think that's an important thing to note, that it's very important to be activated at the local level, because that's where you can really find a lot of common ground. As far as Cap Metro, that's kind of a case in point across the board for a lot of our local governmental bodies. Lack of leadership is the main problem. We have a serious lack of leadership. We have a serious lack of people that are willing to stand up to the powers that are trying to just stomp on them at a very basic level, like when Perry told them they had to move the dang bus stop from 11th and Congress, and that's just, there's all sorts of things behind why that happened. But they didn't put up enough of a fight, in my opinion, and it's just indicative. We have exactly what Wes said. Too much money is being wasted. We have so many creative solutions out there, so many models to look at. We are just not even considering, because politics are getting in the way.
Andy Brown, Texas Democrat.
I am a Texas Democrat. I'm just curious in the audience, if you're a Libertarian, raise your hand. If you're a Republican, raise your hand. Green Party. What are y'all?
Independent.
You're all independent.
Independent.
Alright.
Constitution Libertarian.
What's up, Dave? The one Democrat.
I know most of those people out there aren't paying dues to the Libertarian Party. They were all Libertarians.
They're all little L Libertarians, I guess.
Little L.
And I think it's a little unfair that the one Republican is actually a Libertarian. I think it's a really bash a good Republican for tonight.
Yeah, where's our red state fascist up on the way?
So yeah, in general, I'm very much. We need more mass transit. I think again, my candidate Karen Huber, running for county commission, is someone who'll be in favor and receptive to mass transit in Austin, whereas the incumbent Gerald Doherty has been against it every step of the way. I think it makes sense for people to drive less, to carpool, or to have mass transit to go on. Saves energy, it's lower cost, lets people get to work. Go mass transit.
Don, did you want to rebut?
Gotta have a rebuttal to that one. Scott, it would be awesome if you could put on a forum for transportation. We should have a transportation forum. I didn't support Gerald Doherty's vote on the toll roads, but there are reasons why that's happened, and we need to talk about that. But the fact is that we need more roads, guys. We need more roads. We have something in this area called an affordable house. It's called the suburb. You go to the suburb, you can get an affordable house. I don't know about you, but I can't afford a house close into the city. It costs too much. And I have lived in Eastern Europe, and there is some population density there where it kind of makes sense to have mass transit. Mass transit, out to the suburbs makes no sense here because we do not have the population density that you have to make mass transit work. And Gerald Doherty gets bashed all the time by people that want to get you out of your car, saying that they're going to put you into a train or a bus. Not going to happen. I mean, we just don't have the population density. So I support Gerald Doherty's position, opposing a lot of the rail boondoggles, and I think he's right on target there.
Andy, would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, I think Gerald Doherty is out of touch with reality of Travis County. I think there is a need for mass transit here. I think we do have a need for it. I don't believe the population density of Austin is so little that we don't need it. I mean, look at Congress Avenue, look at the people riding the buses that we provide there. I don't know how people would get to work in a lot of areas without the bus system that we have, and I think it's necessary.
All right, our next audience question is directed to Debbie Russell, the independent representing the Nader campaign group here today. This is about the chief of police of Austin using federal money to train local police on how to take blood from Austinites.
Sheila, where are you, Sheila?
In order to assess whether you've been driving under the influence of alcohol, and in fact, look out.
Fire cops, watch out!
The question is, what is your opinion, and what can citizens of Austin do about this if they are concerned about it?
What to do? That's a typical one.
Be loud,
Right into the mic.
My opinion will be released in a press release tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact. So, vampire cops, we got them, and if anybody wants to join our little action Friday night on the streets of 6th Street, get dressed up as vampire cops. So, talk to me later. Anywho, yeah, this is definitely skirting the constitutional, infringement issue. We do have some laws, actually, that protect us on these things, and one of the issues right now is we don't really know what he has planned, first of all. Secondly, he won't nail down and won't commit to whether or not he is actually training officers to be phlebotomists, to do the blood draws. I know he's put in for grants for that, and right now he's skirting answering that question directly. Thirdly, he's not addressing what he's putting, if anything, in his use of force policy as far as what reasonable force is in terms of forcing that blood out of you if you don't consent to it. If you're already in custody, what is reasonable force for somebody not being violent, simply resisting? That's a question that needs to be answered, and it's not yet. We're going to see a lot of problems derive from this, and we're going to try to fight it from the policy level in every way, shape, and form in the group that I work in outside of the campaign. So,
What about City Council?
City Council, we got to pressure the hell out of them because they know they're vulnerable, but I think they're silently for this. They're just, unfortunately, not stepping up to the plate. You're right. Pressure needs to happen. Thank you, Molly.
Do any of you have anything substantive to add to that, or a disagreement on that issue? Go ahead.
Maybe all of us up here are against that. Libertarians are certainly against that forced blood testing. But I guarantee you, the average Republican and Democrat politician out there supports this kind of thing. They're all for that big government and intrusion in our rights. Only Libertarians and Democrats who are members of the ACLU and maybe some Greens will be against that kind of thing.
I would like to clarify just
And
one.
Ron Paul.
That the I forgot what you were saying.
Well, I actually have a question here, a follow-up of my own, which is, drunks kill people on the roads all the time. Is this something reasonable for protecting people, particularly when we're talking about Halloween night, when everybody is out getting drunk?
That was the clarification I was going to make. Absolutely, we should get drunk drivers off the road. But this initiative is not about that. It's already getting them off the road. We're already got them off the road. It's what happens afterwards. So it's a matter of public safety to get them off the road, yes. It is not a matter of public safety to collect evidence to prosecute them later.
Andy Brown from the Texas Democrats.
Yeah. What? This one's you. As a former phlebotomist, which I was once, I've just got to say that it seems like they're not only violating our civil liberties by doing this, but they're putting the officers' lives at risk because they're dealing with needles. I mean, taking blood from someone in a car when you're standing there, I can't even imagine the safety. Okay, well, I guess there's more details to this.
There's actually a law against that.
But it would be putting officers who, phlebotomists, nurses, doctors, people that draw blood have lots of experience on this pretty specific procedure, and I don't think it seems like a great idea for police officers to be doing that on the fly.
Okay, and our next audience question is for our Constitution Party representative, Erica Grignon. And the question is, do you agree with Sheriff candidate Raymond Frank's position about lessening the penalties for marijuana possession to virtually a traffic ticket versus jail time as it is now? I believe I can add to this that recent changes to Texas law have given local authorities the